Alright guys, we got a hell of a match coming up for you right here. And at first, it was like accidentally sort of self-revealed on his part that he had something with trick. And so I figured as soon as I see something that can trick, I'm going to predict it off the bat, and he leads off with a Zam. So I'm like, alright, I don't want to go to Bliss, because I don't want Bliss to get a Scarf. So I'm going to go with T-Spikes, and instead he just threw up a Psychic in my face and killed my Hazard lead right off the bat on turn 1. I'm just like, oh my god, are you serious? So I was really pissed at this point, because had I not heard that, there's no way in hell I would have stayed in. I never predict trick. Especially because it's like one of those newer moves from Plat and Heart Gold, and it's just like, I never even think about that crap. And then Hippo comes in, and I'm like, now I don't have T-Spikes up? Are you serious? This is bad. Like, this sucks. I'm really kicking myself right now. Like, god bloody hell. So I go over to Melodic as he puts up rocks, and I know I can threaten it with a Hydro Pump or a Surf, and that's exactly why he's not going to stay in for it, so I'm going to go with a Confuse Ray instead, and, something unfriendly, whatever the hell it may be, is going to be 50% less unfriendly. So, and we'll just have to see what that goes from there, and it will dictate my next moves. So, it's not looking very fun right off at the moment, though, and then in comes a Clefable, which I'm like, oh my god, I hate this thing. So, like, this is definitely one of, like, the top 5 things I hate to see, just because it's so annoying. Like, I love defense, and I love playing stall, but Clefable is too stally for me. It's too stally for me, and that should not be possible. That should be banned, just because it's so slow and boring. But, I throw a Hydro Pump at it just in case it's not a stalling set, and it's something that tries to utilize, like, Life Orb and Double Edge or something, instead. But, I see that I'm hitting about, 45%. And now I'm kicking myself. I'm like, man, like the first few matches I was so happy that I made my guys a little bit, like 10% bulkier than what I originally had them at, and then took away Life Orb for leftovers and make them even more bulky that way. And now I'm thinking if I had my original offensive set on this guy, I probably could have scored a 2-hit KO. So it's like at first it was saving my life, and now it's preventing me from killing. So I just can't win. I go over to this thing now while I figure I have a turn. Don't know what it's going to do. It is confused, so I've got a chance to score a free switch anyway. And he puts a Wish Up in the air, which I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I didn't want to see. So he withdraws out immediately, which I'm a little surprised at, but I guess, I don't know, whatever. And I throw out an Overheat, figuring Superpower was too obvious. And he brings in Hippo. I'm like, yes, I can take this thing out. I know I can take this thing out. But I don't take it out. I leave it with, like, I don't know, I'm just going to guess like 25 damage. I don't know exactly what the number's at. But, God, that really sucks. If I had some sort of hazard, it would have made up for it. But I wasn't able to take it out. So now after a Wish, after surviving and after lefties, it's at over half. And it's at like 60%. And since I'm now -2 from my Overheat, I can't kill it. So I've got to switch. I'm like, God, this sucks so bad. So I go right back into Melodic because I don't really care what the hell he wants to do. He's going to slack off just in case I did go for another hit. Whatever. I expected he would just go for an Earthquake because it would kill off my dude. And that may be because of the threat of... No, he hasn't seen Zapdos yet, so he wouldn't have gone for Stone Edge. Anyway, that might have been another reason I went to Melodic instead. But, threaten Hydro Pump again. So this time I'm just going to go for it, in fact, because I predicted the Confuse Ray the first time. And he brings in Alakazam now, which I'm definitely surprised at. Granted, he probably expected I had Surf, but, it leaves it with just a hair. And, once again, if there was some sort of hazard up, I'd be A-okay to go. So, and here again, I'm still expecting that it's a trick Scarf, though, just like before. And I figure, okay, he's going to want to get a Scarf on one of my walls. So I figure I'm going to pull the trigger and go to my Choice Scarfer itself, and I'll pursuit him out as he tries to get the hell out of here. But he goes for Grass Knot. I'm like, no, this is twice now I've screwed myself over from this false information, or from this self-revealed information, I should say, and it's just, it is messing with my head, and that is not something that normally happens to me. So now I go over to Bliss, and Sand is just going to take this thing out, while, she gets hit with a Grass Knot, no big deal. And so now I've lost my Hazard lead for free, got nothing out of it. And now my Scarfer himself, he's at like 30%, but he's got Double Edge. So he's pretty much, with, Sand and Stealth Rock up, he's pretty much got one shot left, and he's a Scarfer. He's supposed to be there to revenge crap. So And then he switches moves. He doesn't even have a trick scarf. Like, I don't know what that guy was talking about now when he said it, or what Gold said at the time, because he doesn't even have it. So I don't even know what the hell I heard. It probably wasn't even this type of match. But, well, no, because it was, whatever. It's, oh my god. So now I lose my Chopelberry for it also. So I lose a full guy. I lose essentially almost my entire Scarfer. And now I lose my Chopel counter. Of course, in comes a Hitmonchan. I'm just like, oh my god. This is going so poorly, and I've lost so many guys. I'm just like, I need to stall him out. Like that's all I got. I can't offensively beat him down anymore this match. So I go over to Zapdos. I know I can take anything that Hitmonchan wants to throw in my face. I'm assuming it's a choice user, probably Scarf. So at least Tauros will still have one more use. If something dies, I can bring Tauros into a Hitmonchan, put an Intimidate up there, and kill him if he stays in, or hit something if he doesn't, and then just die and bring something else in for free before it can heal. So, I've kind of got that, but I don't have a whole lot else. So I'm just going to roost up, because I know it's not going to kill me if he does stay in for another close combat, which would be stupid, because he's got lowered defenses and it's not going to kill me. So I roost up because of Stealth Rock. I'm going to want to be as high as I can. And in comes Fable again. I'm like, yawn. But, there's only so much I can do. So I think I sub up here, just in case it wanted to throw a status in my face. And, just kind of scout out its moves. Because I know I can stay in here all day versus Hippo. I know I can stay in there all day. Against Hitmonchan, depending on what move it picks, or depending on if Hitmonchan comes into me versus me going into him, I could stay in there all day versus Hitmonchan as well. And, just trying to figure out what kind of Clefable that... Oh, crap, I wasn't looking. I didn't see what move it just used. Did it use Toxic or no? I don't remember. I think it did. I think it used Toxic. So I'll just take my narration from there. But, just trying to figure out the moves with Sub and Roost so that I can, 1, PP stall him out, and 2, just verify to myself that... Excuse me. Why does this happen every video now? I get something stuck in my throat. Verify to myself that I can indeed stall out everything he has with Zapdos. Obviously, I don't want to, but taking a gander down at the time of this video, that's the route I have to go at this point. So I apologize in advance, guys, but I have to. As the game gets progressively stallier, I do speed the video up. Otherwise, this would have been like 50 minutes. I'm not even kidding. So I'm still going for T-Bolts, trying to get a crit on here, see if I can finish this thing off. He throws a Wish up in the air, and with leftovers, it's going to be just a hair outside of what I can deal, but it's still really low. Who knows what my min-max damage is going to be. Maybe I should have gone for a crit. He might predict a Protect, or that's what I do end up doing. I predict a Protect, but in this turn I get it. It's the first time he's going to play it safe, and I took that chance to go out to Hellfire. And this is where I have a little beef with the game. I predict a Protect, and I get penalized for it because in real time, I just figured, okay, I saw he went for Protect, but I stopped looking when it failed. So my interpretation at the time was that he can't go for Protect again, and I forgot about the fact that it fails if you switch, which totally does not give me the advantage. For knowing what he was going to do and making the right play, he still gets to Protect again. I'm just like, that sucks so bad. Like, I expected to land a superpower on something, and I hate that. He gets rewarded for me predicting his switch and making the right play, and that bothers the hell out of me. So I'm not quite in Blaze yet, so I have to go for Superpower again. And I know that if he predicts me to keep going for more Superpowers and predicts me to, switch to something else, I can get him to stay. I'm going to make him make the move. I would be hating life if he stayed in and I switched moves and didn't kill him. So, but now I see a Weezing come in. I'm just like, oh my god, this sucks. And with Stealth Rock, with Life Orb, and with Sand, I know that Hellfire can't be used anymore. So he's just going to stay in for a Suicidal Overheat, kill anything that freaking comes in. I don't care what the hell it is. It's going to die from this Blaze Overheat. And for him, it's going to be Weezing, which I don't really care about. I don't, unless I suppose Explosion would threaten Bliss and Melodic a bit. But, aside from that, like, none of my walls care about it. So Hitmonchan comes in, and I've got nothing left to do with Hellfire, so I'll stay in for a Vacuum Wave, get a smidge of damage on there, and just use the turn to see what he wants to do. So he goes for T-Punch. So I don't know if he predicted Melodic, or if he thinks that with Stealth Rock and 2 T-Punches he can KO my Zapdos and was just trying to play it safe. So I go into Zapdos anyway because I know I can live 1 T-Punch, so I probably couldn't live 2, so he probably was correct in that regard. But I know I can survive the 1, take it all day long, because it's going to be weaker than a neutral close combat, I believe. Yeah, 75 as opposed to 90. So I just roost it off, get back up to full, like thanks, no big deal. And here we are again, back at square one, pretty much at least. So, except now I've lost my Blaziken, I've lost my lead Hazard, plus Taunt no less, which, oh, Taunt would be so nice against Clefable, are you serious? And, the hell else did I lose? Oh, Tauros is essentially worthless. So, at this point though, I don't want to get Toxicked, I don't want to, I know I can't really do anything, so I just go out to Melodic just to change it up. Like, I don't know, I think because she wasn't at full, my thought was to switch her in here just to use Recover and get her to full. Like, that might have been it. She doesn't care as much about Toxic as Zapdos will because of Marvel Scale. Because of Marvel Scale. And obviously I do have Aromatherapy on Bliss. So I'm trying to get him to get rid of as many Toxics as possible. Again, this is assuming that one turn in my narration I wasn't looking that he did use Toxic. I'm not even positive. Because if he didn't use Toxic and I don't know he has Toxic yet, then this is just a total wash. But I'm assuming he does, and he definitely does. But, you know. So I recover up, as I know Hydro Pump isn't going to pull it off unless I crit. And I still have to worry about hitting it twice in a row anyway. So Ice Beam is obviously not going to do anything. So I threw a Confuse Ray on it, trying to get safer switches. In hindsight, it probably isn't smart because I need this thing to lose as many turns of PP as possible. And the more often he hits himself, that's one more turn I have to stall him out. And I'm not exactly accomplishing anything in that regard. So, plus I believe I'm trying to get I don't know what the hell I'm trying to do anymore. So I go to Bliss because I know that I'm expecting Toxic to be coming in a lot more often on those turns as opposed to S-Toss. And I need to get this thing healed back up. So, because I know I couldn't take 2 S-Tosses with Sand. So, because Sand will work before Lefties will. And trying to predict Toxics in there, which, you know, his Confuse Ray was making it a little bit more difficult for him. Like, you know, I want him to predict a switch and, you know, double Toxic me. So, anyway, after all that, you know, garbage waste of time happens, he finally switches out. I'm able to soft boil up and get up to a respectable amount of hit points. And then comes his Hippo again, which I'm not quite sure what he wants to do. But now that it comes in, you know, I was thinking, crap, if I'm going to be stalling out these guys, he's got like 64 uses of Stealth Rock or something. Like, I don't know exactly how many it does, but it's got a hell of a lot of moves on it, I'm pretty sure. So, like, that sucks off the bat. You know, if I want to play that game, he can match it with a stupid amount of turns of Stealth Rock. So it would have been nice if there was, you know, poison on there to force him to keep healing up and run out of those. But anyway, I soft boil there because I still wasn't at full, and I wanted to see, you know, who would be faster, where I'd go to if he went to Hitmonchan, you know, whatever, and just get back up to hit points since I don't have leftovers. In fact, I don't have an item at all anymore. So, and I was predicting, you know, if he's going to go for an attack on Bliss, he'd be more likely to go for Earthquake, but I have Zapdos, so maybe he'll go for Stone Edge. So I'm kind of at this point just switching around, you know, making him predict stuff and whatever. So the first time these two guys met, I predicted a switch and went for Confuse Ray. The second time they met, I went for a Hydro Pump, predicting him to potentially stay in. And this is now prediction 3. So I'm just going to go right for a Recover, knowing that none of the above are going to be better options. So every turn, based on the previous, I'm switching up my predictions in a good way. And, you know, hopefully, since now that this is multiple times in a row I've predicted a switch, maybe on prediction 4 I can land a nice Hydro Pump on him if he wants to stay in and risk it, depending on what my HP is and crap. So I go for another Confuse right here, which, again, in hindsight I shouldn't have. I guess at that time I'm trying to get safer switches, but I guess that was really all I'm doing. I shouldn't have. I don't want to waste Hydro Pumps for obvious reasons because it's worthless. I suppose Ice Beam is pretty much worthless unless I get a freeze on it, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I just threw a confusion on him, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I think I went for another confuse right there because he had a wish up, and just in case he wanted to switch or something like that. My screensaver just went on. I have no idea if that. No, it's not screen record. Never mind. So that's that. I go for Ice Beam there just because it's better than nothing. Trying to just stay in for a turn or two of Toxic. Maybe he'll predict a switch in Toxic again, and I want to get these Toxic out of here. I got to stall out all of his moves, and Toxic is going to be used least often. So, plus I don't think he knows I have Aromatherapy on Blissey yet. So I'm trying to weed out all these Toxics and then throw an Aroma up and be like, ha ha, sucks to be you. So anyway. Again, it's another, little stall out match over here. It's, Bliss 2.0 versus Bliss 1.0 essentially. And he's still going for wishes, which it's a little weird because I don't think he's got anything that's exactly in critical health. I think all of his stuff is, nearly at full. Well, okay, there we go. Hitmonchan's half dead. Ironic how I just said that. One downside of me, going into Bliss for Aromatherapies is that I know as soon as Bliss comes in, Hitmonchan's going to follow it, which is exactly what happens. So, soft boiling up to full is nice if I had a Chopal, and I don't. So, first time I went to Zapdos. Second time I'm going to go to Zapdos again because I know he still definitely needs Blissey dead. And on prediction 3, I'll change things up. The first two I'll go for it in the same way. Because the first one he didn't know I had Zapdos, he just rolled with it. So, another frog in my throat. Bloody hell. So... again, I know I can survive close combats all day long, so I'm just going to roost up again. Boring, but that's all I got, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I apologized earlier, but this is all I got. So, I'm at 369 as opposed to 370, which I find funny just because it's 1 point off. I don't know. It's hilarious. Like, really? I'm at 99.9%. So, Hitmonchan comes back in, and that was really confusing to me. Like, what the hell were you thinking there? If I T-bolted, you're going to get hurt, pretty significantly from dose. So I don't know what the hell was going on with that. If you wanted to play that game, then go to Hippo first to take a T-bolt, and then go to Hitmonchan on the hidden power at least. But, I don't exactly know what his thought process was there. Maybe he predicted I would switch to Bliss or something instead. I suppose if that was where he was going, then it makes perfect sense. Like, that's fine. But it didn't work out that way for him at all. So it scored me a free T-bolt on Clefable. And now, I had a sub up already, so I'm just trying to T-bolt this thing. Maybe get a crit. Maybe I can make something happen here. If I get a Parahax, maybe I can get him fully paralyzed on, a potential Wish turn and totally screw him over. It's really intricate on how that's going to work, and I'm trying to finish this off. I know if he does Toxic me, I have Aromatherapy hiding out, so I'm concerned for sure, but I'm not the most concerned in the world that I could be. A little bit earlier, he had a Wish in the air, and he was at a low on health, and here's another scenario where I should have went for it. I was predicting Protect, but he knew he could survive one barring a critical hit, and that's what I've been going for the last few turns. And I tried to capitalize by getting a free sub up there, but in hindsight, I was kicking myself. I really should have went for it. Even if I don't finish it off, maybe I get a crit, maybe I get a Parahax. I was kicking myself on that for it. I had a chance, a very small chance, but I had a chance to take something out, and I didn't even try to pull the trigger. So he made a great play by just S-tossing, and, it took out my sub and got us back to square one. So he goes to Hitmonchan again, which because he didn't even have a Wish in the air this time, so I'm really baffled by that one. So, because Hitmonchan is now almost dead. I don't know why he keeps doing that. My guess is that he's just getting tired of the stall, because this match went on for almost 2 hours. It might be the longest fight I've ever had, as opposed to like time-wise. And so maybe he's just trying to switch things up and make something happen. Maybe he's just trying to predict something else going on and just try and take something out. So, up to this point, I haven't played too many matches with the team yet. And, Mixtier is not exactly my forte, so I wasn't quite sure how it would work out. But the more matches I play, the more I realize just what an awesome triangle Bliss with Zapdos is. And then to throw in melodic into the mix for ice attacks and, you know, some more special tanking and stuff. And, you know, all of them can heal. All of them are kind of meh about status with aromatherapy and sub. So, and Marvel scale at the same time. So it's like, it makes such a good triangle. Maybe he's just trying to take one of them out. If you take one of them out, then the others are a bit easier to finish off as well. So, you know, maybe I'm just getting in his head a little bit with that. I do think I have the slight advantage in stalling out right now. During the time of the match, I didn't at all. I felt that he had the advantage in this stall war. I still don't know what one of his guys is, but you know, the more I look back at it, I think I did have an advantage myself. So, you know, he's probably just trying to make something happen, as I was trying to get hacks and get a crit or something like that, you know. And he's trying to actually, you know, make progress, and I'm not, because I'm a douche sometimes. So, more aromatherapies. Obviously, he's got more toxics than I have aromatherapies. Bliss does have natural cure as well, but I didn't want it to rack up if I'm going to be sitting in here all day. So, I'm just trying to make him waste as many toxic as possible, because I do still obviously have sub. And, you know, if Melodic or Blissey gets toxic on it, I don't care all that much, because they can just, you know, benefit from scale and natural cure and just recover it off and switch out to each other all day long. So because Hitmonchan's really low, he's going to throw a wish in the air, and because it is that low, every time a wish is in the air, I'm going to go for an attack. I don't care what the hell it is. So because he went for that risky switch, I'm not going to let this thing get a wish ever. And then he makes another really risky switch. Like he probably just predicted my switch, but I had no intention of switching. Like, what point is there for me to do that? So he made a really risky switch there. I only went for counter because I figured it'll hurt Hippo more, you know, and it'll help waste him his heals and get me a safe switch to myself. And, you know, I could have killed Hitmonchan right off the bat. And like I said earlier, with the first couple predictions, he went close combat. I went to Zapdos both times. Afraid of Ice Punch, and I figured Melodic is my least valuable. I switched things up, and I went the opposite way of predicting, and, you know, went over to Melodic as he Ice Punched there, and I'm like, yes! So that was crucial. He didn't get to kill something. Sand hurt Hitmonchan even more. I had a chance to go for either Recover or Confuse Ray or Ice Beam. I threw a random Ice Beam out there thinking maybe I need a Freeze Hacks, maybe I can get it. And lo and behold, I freaking got the freeze, and I was stunned. I'm like, really? I was kidding when I said that in my head. So I don't know how long he's going to be frozen, though. So I figure, considering it is a stall match, and I don't really have anything to hurt it that badly since Blaziken's gone, I figured I'm better off if I just recover on my Melodic, switch out to Zapdos, roost up with him because of his low HP, put up a sub with him, and then start attacking if it's still frozen. And I figured by that point he'd thaw out, but he hasn't yet. So that's like 4 turns, I think. Maybe 5. Let's see. There was Recover, Switch, Roost, Sub. Yeah, so that's 4 turns. This is turn 5. He's still frozen after 5 turns. And I was like, man, you know, it was either do what I did or immediately go to Zapdos and just start T-bolting and try and take it while it could. And I ended up getting a crit as well amongst which is now 6 turn freeze. I'm just like, wow. Had I known it would have been that long, I wouldn't have wasted all this time healing up. I would have just went straight for it. But having that crit, you know, totally helps me out. It saves me one more turn where he could Wish Protect. And having that crit go in there with the 6 turn freeze hacks, that's going to end the game. So, because I'm not going to let him pass a Wish over to Hitmonchan anymore. He made too many risky switches with that, and it didn't work. So he's not going to get healed up, and Sand is going to kill him with something else. Even if he takes out Melodic, you know, Tauros will come in and pursuit it or something. You know, I don't care. And then now with a frozen Clefable at 30% or less, like I think it's like 20%, you know, there's nothing it can do anymore. It lost its chance to Wish Protect. So at this point I know Zapdos can stall out everything he's got, and it can kill everything he's got at the same time. So it pretty much is just going to end the match, as we're going to stall around for a while as I sub and pressure on his Stone Edges, and obviously his Earthquake isn't going to hurt me unless I Roost. And once his Stone Edges are gone, I'm not going to Roost. So I don't know what his 6th is, so I guess I shouldn't say it's over just yet. But he concedes the fact that I've still got, you know, my Triangle plus a Scarf Sweeper in there, and he's only got 1 guy. So he concedes the fact that it's not going to be effective enough to take me out. And he's eventually just going to run while keeping it hidden. Though, of course, because Verse Recorder, it shows me his poke. So this stupid team reveal, like, he worked hard to keep that guy hidden, and then because of team reveal, I get to see it anyway. So because it's a double elimination tournament, if I happen to fight him again, now I know what his 6th is, when normally I wouldn't. So that's really stupid. That's just such a bogus thing. I hate that garbage. But, anyway, this is going to put me on into the semifinals of the tournament. My original goal, because it's double elimination and it's mixed tier, my original goal was to win twice as many matches as I lose, which means, go 4-2 or better. Winning this right now makes me 4-0 in the tournament, going on into the semis. And now that I'm at the 4 wins, I'm not quite as satisfied with it. I want more. So, and this semifinals match is going to be extremely crucial. If I lose it, I have essentially 0 shot to win the tournament. Gold might actually be in a better place than I am, simply in the fact of if I lose the semifinals, the guy I lose to goes on to the finals, and then I have to beat the winner of the 1-loss bracket. I have to beat him to go back to the finals and play the guy who beat me, but I have to beat him twice in a row because of double elimination. So I have to play him 3 times if I lose to him, which means I pretty much need to win. And, Gold won't have to play him 3 times. He might have to play me 3 times theoretically, but, that's the situation I'm in right now. So hopefully I can have something good come out of it. I guess I still did really well. So thanks for watching, guys. I know it was a hell of a boring-ass match, but stay tuned for some more. I apologize.